Hello everyone, and welcome back to Destiny. Today we got another sneak peek at the Sentinel, the Titan's Void Support subclass, which is replacing the Defender in Destiny 2. We already know the general idea behind the super itself. You cast a majestic Void Shield and turn into Captain America. We also already know that you can override the shield super and cast a trusty Ward of Dawn. But finally, today we got to see it in action along with our first look at a Destiny 2 public event. So let's dive in and break it all down. So in today's IGN First video, we heard from senior sandbox designer Claude Jerome and my personal favorite Destiny team member, visual effects artist David Samuel.
And then that freaking shield is like...
They talked about their process in developing the Sentinel as the first Void roaming super and the challenges they had to face. They broke down all 4 of the abilities available to you when you cast your super shield. You have the melee attack, the shield bash, the shield toss, and the guard. I outlined these in more detail in my video from earlier this week, so click on over and give that a watch if you haven't already. I'll also leave a link down below for the IGN First video, so you can give that a watch as well. Then on top of that, they discussed the Ward of Dawn override. When supercharged, you can press and hold the super buttons to cast a Ward of Dawn instead, and we thankfully got to see it in action. Some of the notable changes start with the fact that it does seem like it takes an extra second to cast since it is an override. Also, you will now be able to observe the health of the bubble. When the bubble is approaching the end of its cast, you will begin to notice agitation in the visual effects and holes starting to form. That way you'll know the bubble is about to burst. And speaking of burst bubbles, the video sort of ended there. We didn't get a look at the subclass upgrade screen, nor did we learn anything about the new subclass abilities and potential new grenades, not even a hint at the 2 subclass focuses for the Sentinel. We still see the bubble provides armor of light, but what does that mean for weapons or blessing? Will those still be available in some way? Are they perhaps nodes on the 2 focuses? Lots of little questions like that yet to be answered, so I suppose we'll have to wait until Tuesday to find out for ourselves. And speaking of which, you can expect a hefty flow of videos next week going over not only the subclass breakdowns, but also noting things like weapon impressions, loadouts, and other cheeky little secrets we discover along the way. Next week, I will also be live streaming the entire week over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/futurefoe. Almost all the pieces are in place, and I'm excited to finally start streaming full time very soon, but you can get a taste of that next week during the beta. I'm looking forward to squatting up with as many of you as I can and chatting about the game. As I mentioned before, this will not be impeding my YouTube posting schedule. You can still expect daily content right here. In fact, you may see a couple videos posted per day as I try to jam through all there is to see in the beta. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you'll know when I post. Now, the video didn't end without giving us our first peek at not only Nessus on patrol, but our first look at Destiny 2 public events. The clips are very short, but you can see the familiar public event icon in the upper left, along with the objective, how many Guardians are in the event, and how much time there still is left to complete it. All very standard stuff here, but what is interesting is perhaps the public event itself. The event is called Cabal Excavation and asks you to override the mining lander. Although we didn't get to see too much of what exactly is going on, in fact most of what we see are explosions that seem to be coming from nowhere, upon closer inspection we can sort of make out that they might be coming from the sky, maybe to clear the way for the lander. But we also see a bit of mysterious Cabal tech off to the left, which looks like it has a computer terminal of some kind. So maybe you have to defend your ghost while it overrides the computer, all while defeating waves of enemies, sort of like the Warsat public event, I suppose. In fact, you can see that might be the case as we see the white border surrounding the tech while you see the override in progress, so it may just be a fancier version of the Warsat encounter. I personally hope there's much more to it. I wouldn't necessarily count this as a greater example of public event variety, but maybe they're just holding all those new ones close to the chest. Either way, it looks pretty exciting. I'm definitely curious to see what or who is causing all of these explosions. Also, this is really the perfect thing to show us in reference to Ward of Dawn, because it further showcases the versatility of the Sentinel, and of course this has many of us now wondering if the Sentinel might be a bit overpowered. With so many different abilities, it's hard to really justify some of the other subclasses, at least for PvE, namely the Arc Strider and even the Striker. I mean, each subclass does bring something unique to the party. The evasion and reload buffs of the Hunter can prove invaluable, and the immediacy of Fist of Havoc does have its uses in PvP, but I'm not sure. Does this sway your decision on which class or subclass you'll be choosing to focus on first? It's definitely got me thinking pretty hard about it. The Sentinel just looks so rad, and it's gonna be hard to find a reason not to use it. Share your thoughts on the matter down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time. The IGN interview featured Bungie senior narrative lead Jason Harris and cinematic lead Matthew Ward. We didn't really learn anything new, but it's still very reassuring to see them passionate and dedicated to delivering a good story experience this time around. They referred to Destiny 1 as a foundation from which the story of Destiny 2 can take place.